Hi, welcome back to Moose and Chemistry. This is the cation anion lesson number 1. Alright, so let's look at cations and anions. We're going to look at a compound called sodium chloride, NaCl. Sodium is the cation and chlorine is the anion. And why is that going to be? Well, sodium will have a plus charge and chlorine will have a minus charge. So how does that come about? Well, let's look at the electron configuration of sodium first. So let's go ahead and do that. So sodium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. All right, well, sodium is element number 11. That means it has 11 protons. And if it has 11 protons, it's going to have 11 electrons. And if we add 2 and 2 and 6 and 1, we get 11 electrons. So that looks good. Chlorine, on the other hand, is element number 17. Since chlorine is element 17, it has 17 protons. And then to be electrically neutral, it has to have 17 electrons. So let's go ahead and do that now. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. All right, so now you can see that there's 17 electrons there because 2 and 2 and 6 and 2 and 5 makes 17. Now, each element wants to make an octet. What's an octet? Well, an octet is where an element has 8 valence electrons in its outer shell. But look here, in the valence shell of sodium, you have only 1 electron. So sodium going to have to gain 7 electrons, or would it be easier for sodium to give up this 1 electron right here? And then look what happens here. The new valence shell, 2s2, 2p6, that now has 8 valence electrons. And there's sodium's octet. But that presents a new problem. Remember, we had 11 protons right here, and we had 11 electrons. Well, if sodium gives up 1 electron, then sodium is only going to have 10 electrons. So the overall charge is going to be a plus sign or positive. Let's look at chlorine here. So chlorine has 3s2, 3p5. See that right there? So that has 7 valence electrons. And it wants to have an octet also, right? So it's going to take the 1 electron from sodium, and we're going to add that and change that 7 valence electrons to 8 valence electrons. And we're going to bind sodium to chlorine. So now chlorine has 8 valence electrons. And when we rewrite this, you'll see it as 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. So this 5 becomes a 6. So now, this is going to change our number of electrons that chlorine has, right? So we're going to go from 17 electrons, and since we're taking in an electron from sodium, we're going to now have 18 electrons, giving chlorine that negative charge. So if an element like sodium is positively charged, it's called a cation. And chlorine is negatively charged, so it's called an anion. Because in case of chlorine, it has more electrons than protons, therefore it's negatively charged. In the case of sodium, it's a cation because it has more protons than electrons, so it's positively charged. All right, so that gives us the compound NaCl. minus sign for the Cl, and the Na has a plus sign. If you like this video, give us a like and consider subscribing so we can grow this channel. You guys be snarly. I will see you back here at Moosing Chemistry!